Hi. You know what you're going to get for Christmas from the Congress? A tax increase. That's what this video is about. The Deficit Reduction Commission that was set up, that has half Democrats and half Republicans on it, has a mandate of finding 1.2 to 1.5 billion of cuts over a 10-year period, and they have to find those by the end of November. And they found them. There's obviously there, but the Democrats are saying, we will not approve those cuts unless you raise taxes. Not that we need the tax money, it's that we are not politically going to expose ourselves to the attack that we cut entitlements and that we cut spending unless we can come back and say, yes, but we all sacrificed. We made rich people pay more in taxes. Forget that it's going to mess up the economy. Forget that it's not going to be good economically. It doesn't matter. The Democrats insist upon this. And I assumed, as did most of us, that the Republicans would say no, and that one of these games of chicken would ensue. Well, it did. We chickened out. Lamar Alexander, the Republican senator from Tennessee, who earlier this year showed his rhino tendencies by voting for the START treaty with Russia, where we gave him everything in the world and got nothing back. Alexander said that he believes that we should go along with some tax hikes. And now it looks like a number of members of the Republican delegation on that commission are going to do that. In fact, there's some discussion at this point, the figure's been floated about $600 billion in revenue enhancements, they're not tax increases, over this 10-year period. Now, some of them are legitimately not tax increases. They're auctioning off more places for oil drilling and raising user fees to approximate their cost. That's okay. Or selling off federal land and stuff like that. But some of it will be monkeying with the tax code. And what they're going to do probably is lower the top bracket 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 points and limit the deductions you can take, which is fine. That's just what they should do. But it will not be revenue neutral. It'll be designed to generate 2 or 3 or 400 billion in extra tax revenues. And I believe that that's going to really divide the Republican Party. You're going to have the establishment types and the inside the beltway types who'll say, look, we're taking all this flack for this gridlock. We look like we're protecting billionaires. This is giving Obama a campaign issue. We can't take the political pressure. We got to make a deal and do the responsible thing. And then the Tea Party types, which includes me, will say this is outrageous. You were elected promising not to raise taxes, and now you are directly going back on that campaign commitment. What is your word worth in the future? And the issue is not should a millionaire to pay more taxes. It isn't even the impact that paying more taxes will have in slowing consumer spending and economic growth. Remember, the top 2% of the country spends 33% of the money. It's more than that. It's that when Obama took office, the state, federal, and local spending combined in the United States was about 35% of the GDP. Now it's up to 41% of the GDP. And the issue is, are you going to lock it at 41 by voting for tax increases, or are you going to force the spending back down to 35 by not having tax increases? When you vote a tax, you lock in that level of expenditure for all time. And that is a serious, serious mistake. It ratifies much of Obama's socialist agenda. And it's from the very same Congress that we elected to stop that in 2010. So when that happens, we need to really be on guard. Now, tomorrow at the lunch video, we'll talk about the impact of this on the presidential race, because I think it really could help one candidate. I think one candidate could absolutely soar as a result of this. And tune in tomorrow and we'll discuss who. Thanks very much for watching. You know, I've been talking about for your grandchildren or children, Dubs Goes to Washington for kids from 4 to 8. Eileen and I couldn't find books that young people could buy that would be patriotic and explain the values that made America great. So we enlisted our dog to go to Washington and hunt around for that while he's looking for his ball. And with each of the sites in Washington, we have a sort of poem that explains the background of it and gives them a little bit of the content. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow at lunch.